like it's probably one of my biggest lessons as a parent and as a psychologist, is that my capacity to mind my own nervous system is the single best thing I can do for my kids, actually. It's the number one parenting strategy out there, in my opinion. So what can you do? I love to talk about the biopsychosocial model. It's a bit of a mouthful, but basically looking after your physical well-being, your social well-being, and your psychological well-being. So start with the basics.
Can we go into each of those a little bit more? But
sure.
What each one looks like, because I think we'll all pick bits and pieces from each. So
yeah, no, absolutely.
So whichever of the three you'd like to start with first.
I'll start off with physical, actually, because in terms of those hierarchy of needs, you have to start there. You can't expect a parent to go taking on CBT or therapy if they're not eating, sleeping, or exercising, at a rate that will keep them feeling healthy. And so the basics, those foundations, need to be looked after as best you can in the first instance. So looking after your diet, is it varied? Like, are you getting exercise? What's your work-life balance like? I've had parents come in like that, kind of fix my child almost, or fix this behaviour, please. But actually, when you pare it down, maybe the parent is working, 60, 70 hour weeks, and that therein lies, I won't say all of the issue, but a lot of it. So it's looking at all of those physical factors first of all. So as I mentioned, nutrition, sleep, hydration is another one. And what kind of strategies do you have in place to regulate your nervous system? So you'd move into kind of the psychological stuff there, which is, how are you managing stress? Do you have little kind of mini breaks scheduled in your day? Like, for example, if you're coming home from a really hard day, do you have that window where you can take 5 to 10 minutes time out before you go in home, like to kind of regulate yourself again, a reset of your nervous system before you go into the kids? That's a big one for me, I know, anyway. And
is that just deep breaths in the car, or how would that look? Or
it could be. Yeah. And I never underestimate the power of deep breathing. It really does. Huge, if you do it right, it really can have a powerful impact. It activates that vagus nerve, kicks in the parasympathetic nervous system, and there is a lot of research behind it. So yeah, it can look like that. It looks different for different people. For me, it looks like movement. It really, really regulates me, gets me back into a more regulated nervous system zone. For other people, it might look like connection with their pals, bit of a chat on the phone. That is the last thing I want when I'm coming home from work after talking to people all day.
Yeah.
Silence
similar
and
situation
movement
as well. Yeah, you like quiet time after being surrounded by noise all day. Yeah.
So figure out what it is that resets your nervous system and schedule it in every day. Like put an alarm on your watch or your phone or whatever. I know it sounds a bit mechanical. Oh, I have to relax now, but
no, it's a cue. Yeah.
It's a cue because it's about habit, isn't it? And we can't form a habit unless we first become aware of the thing that needs to change.
It all starts with awareness.
It does. It all starts with awareness. So that would be, I'm only touching now on each of these circles, but
it's good. It's just to get an idea. Like, again, because honestly, we're trying to do in a podcast here something that we could do probably a whole bloody series on. So it's just to try and give people, the goal today, if people are listening, is to elevate their awareness. That's probably the way to summarize it.
And then just in the social side of things, like what does your social support look like? Do you have help from the other mammies or daddies in the school? Like, are they there to support you if there's an issue in the class or whatever? What is the school support like? And what's your kind of financial situation like? Is there any work you can do there to help yourself? Because all of these things have an impact and accumulate on our nervous system. And sometimes until we, it can take, unfortunately, a child's mental health before you kind of take stock and stop and go, right, this needs to change.
If you enjoyed this clip, you can catch the full episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.